well.
We talk about these early morning starts. They're no fun. They're early morning. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Ty Lue said expect some.
Take the challenge against LeBron James. So the young fella has a lot of potential in the future.
George shakes free of his defender. They mentioned, speaking of Williams, amazing in the closing seconds of a miraculous victory. More than half of his threes from distance, and we'll tell you a little bit later just how good of a three-point shooter he has been over the last handful of years.
Squared his shoulders up, got his feet set, knocked in that three.
10-5 start for Chicago. George tries to lob it to Ibaka. And Levine, very good in the open floor.
Say real fast, you're French. Your mastery of the French language, listen, very impressive on the Twitter.
Hey, listen, man, I'm international James Bond, baby.
Absolutely.
007. Don't sleep. I'm an international man.
Leonard comes away with his first rebound. 4:14 to play in the first quarter. George for three.
Tough
Got
shot. Right, that's a tough shot. Great defense that time by Levine.
Lou Williams out there right now for Ty Lue. Leonard driving. Nice touch pass from Kennard. George holds the finish with half a second and knocks down the three. And the Clippers cut the lead down. George, count the basket and send him to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Quick pick and roll, PG, hence free throw line.
Clippers do play at the slowest pace in the league as far as possessions go. Turnover, here comes Lou Williams. George settles into the three. He's hit a couple of them tonight, Clippers. George at the free throw line, the first of two in the year. You can tell that Lou hasn't been as aggressive offensively the last couple of ball games. 0 free throws attempted. Continues to go in the direction of the free throw line because the Clippers are almost dead last in the league in free throws attempted.
Well, if he's going to struggle, you want it to be now. You know what I mean? So he's kind of the de facto kind of leader, and sometimes you do need that default veteran player to be a great voice.
Zoo does look much better today than he did in those 2 games against the Warriors. George misses short. Long rebound goes back to George. Zoo does look much better today than he did in those 2 games against the Warriors. George misses short. Long rebound goes back to George.
In the different system in regards to the triangle offense at times that's employed. But again, Ty Lue and the coaching staff see a foul by Paul George. They're still trying to figure out the right lineups that match up together.
Carter Jr. for 3 misses short. See the line there for Paul George in 20 minutes. So he's logging some big minutes here in this first half. Now a quick word from Sweet James. That he had to come out of the game. As George knocks down the second.
8 rebounds. That's more like who you are right now. But again, Billy's Donovan's offense is evolving. Oh, beautiful play.
Nice. 1-3 for another.
Yeah, well, the Bulls are able to respond. So I know Billy Donovan has to be more enthusiastic about that.
George wants the whistle, doesn't get it. 1-3 for another.
Yeah, well, the Bulls are able to respond. So I know Billy Donovan has to be more enthusiastic about that.
George wants the whistle, doesn't get it. 71-64. Mentioned it going to break. The Bulls have hit all 4 of their shots. Clippers are 5 for 6. This is George for 3. They are 6 for 7.
Yeah, you see, middle pick and roll.
Levine into Carter. Oh, nice strip by the Clippers. Oh, and they save it. And here comes Batum back the other way. Great hustle from Paul George.
Excellent rotation. Anticipation that time by Patrick Beverly to be there on the catch of Wendell Carter Jr.
George feeling good, lets it fly, and horseshoes off the rim.
Well, you see now Serge was up on that and forced Levine to take some extra dribbles. Now Noah isolates him, but this is where you rely on your help.
It's a walking stick of lit dynamite. Another 3 in and out, and a good back tap rebound over to Beverly.
It's not as difficult as it may seem.
Paul George unloads a 3. Book it for Paul George. He has 22 and has 5 of a kind here.
Well, he gets to a spot, too, and that time it's good defense. Fall away jump shot. There's nothing you can do about that.
Not to be outdone. George crashing into defenders. Zubac with the rebound and feeds back outside.
Okay.
He took 47 threes in that game against the Pelicans. They lead by 1. George down the lane, no. Rebound tapped up, but not in by Ivica.
Oh, yeah.
Great defense by Lou Williams, and he sends it forward to George with White to beat, bouncing into defenders and leaves it in. Clippers by 3. Good save by the Bulls. Levine. Back to White. Valentine.
Wow. See how he shot that? It was kind of...
George. Valentine has the loose ball, his 4th rebound. Leonard drives on White. Great ball movement by the Clippers. 3 offline for George.
Don't allow him to get it up.
That's an interesting point. I know that in Doc Rivers' first year, Ty Lue was on the bench. The Bulls putting up the 2nd best shooting performance this season. Philadelphia had a game in which they shot over 61%.
That opened up more room for Paul George and Kawhi, basically one-on-one to kind of get open, get free to receive the pass from out of bounds.
There it is. Okay. 27 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and a couple of steals. There's a lot of pieces of that game ball that could be broken up because some big efforts today for the Clippers. Paul George.